Welcome everybody to another episode. We've actually been breezing through these things and going every 2 weeks. I think the first time we did it was quite the hiatus, but it seems to be on a 2-week kick. We decide what we're going to do and then we roll with it. So
loving it, man. Episode 8.
Episode 8. I can't believe it's already been that many. I thought maybe we were going to do 8 in the entire time that I bought SoundCloud and Adobe, but hey, I'm all for it.
Well, this might be the final one.
I hope not.
Why is that?
I'm assuming, I don't know, do you think the world's going to end or something? I don't understand.
Well, we don't know. We haven't gotten past 8.
We haven't gotten past... That's true, but we will get past 8. There will be an episode 9, I promise. How about that? I'll make a promise.
I promise.
So what's going on? Anybody got anything they want to talk about?
I don't know, man. You almost died
I did almost
in
die.
the O'Neill Tunnel, so why don't you explain that?
So, I was on the way home in the O'Neill Tunnel when all of a sudden I hear... Boom, 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 boom. I'm like, oh, fuck. And that's literally the first thing that popped into my mind. And all of a sudden I tried to cut the wheel, but the wheel was so loose that it kind of just had a mind of its own. So I ended up slamming into the O'Neill, I guess they call them the Jersey barriers. They're the ones that are made of, concrete. So I slam into the Jersey barrier, and I'm literally...
Now, which lane are you in?
I'm in the far right. I always drive far right. Like,
Okay.
I don't speed or anything like that. So I'm in the far right. I slam into the Jersey barrier, and then the car kind of didn't do a 360, so I maintained control that way. But what I had to do was I had to steer into safety because rule number 1 of an accident, which I Googled because I wanted to make sure I got all the correct money and whatnot, is that if you get into an accident and the car is drivable, you got to get the car out of the way to the best of your ability. I'm in a tunnel. There's no breakdown lane.
Right.
So I had to drive drove it to exit 26. I don't know what the actual exit entering the tunnel is or what that is, but I drove it to exit 26, which is right by the garden. So I drove into that little triangle area with, the lines where you branch off, exit to keep going on the O'Neill. So I called my dad, and I explained to him that I got into an accident. He asks me if I'm okay, and I'm like, yep. He's like, do you want me to call the cops? I said, I would assume so, because I think they need to come. I don't know, what the procedure is. So he calls the cops. I know a cop probably isn't listening, but he was not helpful at all. He asked me for my license and my registration. I'm shaking up. Doesn't ask me if I'm okay. Comes back. Oh, yeah, comes back and he asks me he's like, what did you hit? I'm like, officer, right now, I'm like, I think I hit the barrier because obviously I broke off a piece of my car. He goes, he looks, can't find anything, comes back, asks me again, what did you hit? And I'm like, officer, I don't know. Please, just, let's take this step by step. I literally just got into an accident. My entire body went cold, which I'm assuming means that my body went into shock.
Yeah, you were in shock.
I was in shock. So I called my dad. As I said, he calls the police for me. They show up. And then all of a sudden, I call AAA. Because that's my go-to thing. You got to call a tow truck. So I called AAA. And I'm like, hey, I was just in an accident. And, they have their standardized questions. Are you okay? Do you need medical attention? Blah, blah, blah. So he asked me that. He's like, well, what happened? And I'm like, I was on the highway. And I hit something. And then all of a sudden, I lost control. He goes, you hit a dog?
What?
I'm like, sir, in no way, shape, or form did I say that I hit a dog. I know that I might be sounding a little, offbeat right now, but I promise you, I did not hit a dog. He's like, okay, well, do you need a tow? And I was just so pissed at this guy at the moment that I'm like, the cop's here, I'll call you back. So I hung up like AAA. But the good thing is, they offer a free service, I guess, Mass Dot, where I don't know if you have to call the cops, but what they do is they'll pick up your car, bring you to the state police barracks. If you have AAA, he just radios, car coming, barracks, AAA. So the guy was super nice there. So I think I went with the first guy who was super nice. He's like, is your keys in the car? I'm like, yeah, my keys. Like, get in my truck. I'm like, all right. So the guy takes me, super nice. What do you think the first question he asked me was? Anybody want to guess?
Did you hit a dog?
No, actually, he did not ask about the dog, but that would have been pretty ironic, huh? A dog on the highway? Do you have any guess what this
Were you drunk?
Nope, he didn't ask me if I was drunk. He goes, so did you fall asleep?
Oh.
And I'm like, no, I did not fall asleep. I've been doing this shift for 3 months. My body's used to the 12 to 6. I get sleep before I go in. I did not fall asleep. He's like, okay, sure. And then I get to the other thing, the tow truck driver, and he's like, I don't know what you did to this car, man. I'm like, buddy, I obviously slammed into what, like I said, it's the Jersey barrier. Didn't know it was called that. My brother told me, and then if you go look at my claim, it says Jersey barrier. But he's like, so, are you a Mormon?
Why would he ask you that and not, are you okay? Where is the are you okay here?
He might have already
I just
asked.
don't see it.
This was on the highway. He goes, so, are you a Mormon? I go, no, sir, I'm not. He goes, say you hit a pothole. And I'm like, I think I did hit a pothole, so I guess that doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
So
where is this going?
I'm like, I'm not lying. Like, something happened. I'm not 100% sure. I lost control of the car. I think that I must have hit a pothole. And then I hit the side of the thing. So I'm like, all right. So I call in the claim. Thankfully, I was buckled. Not a broken bone in my body. Not a scratch on my body. I text my boss at the radio station. I'm like, look, I'm not coming in tonight. Like, I got into an accident. I'm a little shaken up. He's like, don't worry about it. So I call in the claim. The guy comes. A guy calls me on Tuesday. And he explains to me that apparently it was a bad job done on a previous owner's, they got into an accident, which I knew. I knew they got into an accident. I checked the Carfax. Didn't check, like, the points on the RMV or something like that. I guess there's a way to check, like, how many points it costs you with the RMV and how, it might just have, like, fender bender or something. Like, all right, that's not that bad. So the guy explained to me that they probably paid somebody to do, and this is not what actually happened, obviously. He said this is just him going off of what he's seen over the years. He's like, they must have paid somebody to do it. They didn't do a good job at it. They probably pocketed some of the money, or it was just a bad auto job.
And they set you up with a death trap.
And in theory, I got set up with the car.
Unbelievable, man.
But, yeah, so the guy's like, I have to label it as a wreck. And I'm like, all right, you gotta label it as a wreck. That's perfectly fine, but I don't see why it's a wreck just because of the right damage to my car. He's like, oh, no, you broke your tie rod. Your tie rod supposedly snapped. He's like, I can automatically tell that your left and your right is like one's up, one's down. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So, yeah, that's my story. Right now, it's in the claims process. I'm hoping to get some money for it, but I am not buying a used car anymore. I will be buying a brand new car.
And what are you looking at?
Either a Honda CR-V or a Nissan Rogue, because I want something good for the snow. And the deal breaker for me is originally I wanted the Jeep Patriot for the Patriots games because I like to tailgate and I needed like a new car because the car that my friend takes is his dad's and it's dying, blah, blah, blah. But the breaker for me is that the Patriot doesn't have the rear view camera. That is such a deal breaker for me at this point because I can't parallel park for shit.
Oh, yeah.
I like to see what's behind me. I like to see what's to the side of me. And the Honda actually comes standard in the car, I think. So they're leading the way. But my friend works at Nissan. And he said he can get me a good deal on a Nissan. So it's up in the air right now. So that's my story. I know it could have been a little bit more dramatically told, but I'm not going to say I blacked out because I remember what happened. It's just one of those things that like the brain tries to suppress it because it was just like so nervous. Thankfully, there was no one behind me, no one to the left of me, no one to the right.
What time was it?
6:05, 6:10, because I literally just got off at Hut, and I was in the O'Neill's, and it only takes like 5 minutes to get to the O'Neill tunnel if I leave right at 6, tops. So thankfully,
so
no one was
it's that
hurt.
early in the morning.
Yep. And the cars were passing me. If I see an accident, I put my emergencies on, I drove it to the safe spot. But cars are passing me. If I see damage to a car, I'm going to, like, stop and ask them if they're okay. I mean, that's just courtesy on my part. I'm not going to not stop.
No one asked you sincerely if you were okay
during
this whole thing.
The original truck driver might have. My dad did, obviously, and my mom did.
Sure.
When I called them.
Nobody, no emergency.
No emergency came.
Yeah,
no emergency came.
But the cop, where did he go after?
He just disappeared once the mascot came. Once the tow truck driver showed to take me back to the Paris. The
parish? He took you to the archdiocese
really?
parish?
The barracks. He just disappeared.
And you did confessional. And,
I did confessional.
You met O'Malley.
I had to tell people that I did not fall asleep at the wheel as much as I did. So
bless you, son.
And you're not a Mormon.
I am not a Mormon.
Not a Mormon.
I'm a Catholic.
This was a religious experience.
Do you know why he asked you that?
Nope. And like I said, originally...
Maybe it was so early and you were tired and he actually asked, are you a moron?
Yeah, he could have been... It's quite possible. I wasn't shocked.
Pretty sure he meant Amish.
Maybe
a lot of people are
beard.
confusing that.
With that beard, I would think maybe.
That's actually a very, very, very good point.
That's what I was thinking when you said Mormon. It hit me, and I'm like, maybe he meant like you don't know how to drive a car because they do horse and buggy, you know.
And he called you a moron.
Plus, like I said, I was asked for my license and registration, so at least the cop did that right. I mean, I'm not dissing the cops, but I just feel that that situation should have been handled differently. Because the first accident I got in when I was 18, it wasn't my fault. The state trooper actually filled out everyone's accident report for us, and there was like 4 cars.
You expected a Boston cop to do anything?
No, I didn't.
For you?
No, I didn't. My dad kind of just wanted my dad didn't know exactly where I was, so he wanted it to just stay behind me because he didn't know if I was like stopped in the road. It was just a quick conversation with him. He's like, "All right, I'm on my way. I'm coming." But to segue into the next thing that we want to talk about, and we can go into what you guys think, and I have my own theory to something like this. So I get the car home, I pay the tow truck driver. It's about 8 in the morning, so not much has gone on. I come home, I sleep for a few hours, try to just kind of relax. I go outside, and my neighborly neighbor, what happened to your car?
The traffic cop?
The traffic cop. Of course, what else would he be doing during the day?
Yeah, he's laid off now.
Yeah, he's directing traffic, so...
He's laid off?
Yeah, remember the kids?
They
follow the rules now?
They
He's
play
laid
in
off.
the driveway and whatnot. Yeah, they're
he's laid off from being a traffic cop.
So he's like, what happened with your car? And I explained to him what I thought happened, because obviously I don't know. I thought it was a pothole, but apparently upon further review, it turned out to not be
It was
a pothole.
just mechanical
It
failure.
was a mechanical failure.
That was the little shift that you felt, right?
And then all of a sudden the wheel went super loose. It makes perfect sense. So I explained it to him, and he was like, "Oh, okay, yep." He's like, "Hopefully that it's something that you can get money, because we originally thought that my struts or my routers or my brakes, whatever I got done at Midas, was done incorrectly, but God love them, it wasn't. They did their job perfectly." But my question to you guys is, I don't know, have your neighbors lived next to you for forever, so to speak, like since you've...
Some of them, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a few.
We don't talk to them.
Okay, so say you kind of did, not like best buddies.
Yeah.
But would you ever ask the person what happened to your car? I wouldn't.
Well,
That's not my business.
If I saw your car, I would say, "You bastard! You hit a dog."
Yeah,
exactly.
And you Mormon
son of a bitch.
bastard.
Yeah, you hit a dog. But yeah, and he asked me what was going on with my car, and I felt like saying, "Buddy, we're not."
Yeah,
he's out there right now. He's putting the trash out. We're not exactly friends, so to speak.
Yeah.
Don't ask me. If I want to tell you, I'll tell you. But my neighbor across the street, who I've known since literally day one in this house, because they've had the house for like 30 plus years. I think my parents, 35 plus years. My parents have had this house for 30.
Yeah.
I had no problem explaining to him what happened, because he's a good
You're
friend.
on that level.
I'm on that level with him. And if he got into an accident, I would not say... You would be
concerned, though.
I would not say to him what happened. I'd be concerned, but I'm not going to walk over and be like, what happened?
Are you okay? Maybe.
I've seen arguments down the street where, I'm not going up to be like, "Hey, I heard there was
what happened the other night?
Yeah, is everything okay?" I've seen ambulances go to people's houses. That's just not me. I'm not
your business.
We're not close.
Exactly.
To the point where I feel like I should have to tell him what happened, I'm
with you on that, man.
And now he's just, they're loud. Don't get me wrong. Right now he's about to do his daily rounds. They're loud, but I am perfectly okay with them being loud and playing and having a good time, as long as it's not in
you
the street.
Consider it. You think he's loud. Gosh,
Jeez,
you should have been at our house last night, man.
I couldn't sleep, man.
Why, what was it? Just a bunch of kids?
These
I wish.
Freaking hicks, man. They live in this house more towards our backyard, and they had a bonfire going.
Should join them.
Hard liquor going all the way till like 3 a.m., man.
See, yeah. I don't mind that, just as long as they don't don't come to the house, because obviously
they were loud as fuck, man.
This is kind of a moot
fire
point.
pits, man. They smell.
I don't
playing music.
They're loud. It was like 40 degrees last night.
So I went to college, so I'm kind of used to the loud noises type thing, like living in the dorms.
You wouldn't deal with it here.
Me personally,
you guys would not be dealing with that
we would.
shit.
I honestly, I don't care. I do not care about stuff like that. Oh, he's getting the net ready.
At 1 o'clock in the morning?
Doesn't matter to me.
3 a.m.
Doesn't matter to me.
Well, if they think they're going to play that with my car, sitting right there. They got another thing coming.
No, he puts it in the driveway.
No.
They go driveway to
Yeah,
driveway.
they're right in the driveway.
Yeah, I think that one time we inadvertently told him off because ever since that one day, he hasn't.
I'm gonna hit the alarm a couple of times in my car.
Yeah, he wouldn't care. Trust me.
You'd be surprised how well that works, actually,
you
to
think so?
deter people from being near your car.
Why?
I don't know if we want to tell that story.
Did you do it last night?
We might have to.
Did you do it last
Well,
night?
these people weren't anywhere near the car.
Okay, good.
They were near our backyard. We have a pretty long backyard, so there's a couple of houses that are like, connected to the, sort of close to the fence, and their backyards are connected to it. And we could smell the smoke. We could hear them. They were out there like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, like I said, that doesn't really bother me. Just as long as they're not like coming into the house, which is I know a stupid statement to make.
Coming into the house.
Yeah, they can be. You can be as loud as you want. Like I'm not ever gonna call the cops on my.
Can
neighbors.
they piss all over your lawn too? As long as they don't come in the house.
Did they do that? That's completely different.
No, but if they don't come in the house, right?
Well, no, I'm just saying in theory they can be as loud as you want, have as many parties as you want.
As long as they don't come in the house.
As long as they don't interfere with my house, yeah. Don't come on my lawn. Don't like you said, urinate on our side.
Oh,
of the
okay,
house.
so they can't do that.
No, I mean they can't do anything stupid. But if these people just want to have a party, I'm all for
A
people.
very loud one.
I'm all for people partying. I'm not gonna stop them. I'm not gonna tell them no. Let them live out their glory days. Okay.
I think they're way past their glory days.
This is a Stoneham perspective.
That's
guys.
true.
Yeah.
Just letting you guys know on the radio here, we have the Lynn perspective
Let's
against
just say
the Stoneham perspective.
it doesn't
so
happen often enough in Stoneham.
It does in Lynn.
Where I don't get mad.
That's my perspective.
Where I don't get mad enough to deal with it. But yeah, that's the neighbor up there. Other than that, it's been relatively good. But they still like use our lawn like it's universal. Like they can just come in and do as they please and leave
I
all
would
their
not deal
crap.
with that.
You know what? At this point, they're not doing.
As long as they're not coming in your house,
As long
right?
as they're not coming in the house. Oh, I got a quick story to tell you.
Okay.
This was a few years ago. Because I'm such a good kid. I think I was at Salem State. I think it was during finals. We'll say 2007, just for the basis of the argument. There's this gigantic fat kid. I'm talking huge.
Gigantic and fat?
Yeah, like I'm
Wow.
talking like
Wow.
morbidly beyond. If there was a word better than morbidly. That's what it was.
Why does fatness always come up on this show at least
I don't know.
once every
I've
podcast?
noticed that.
Because
though.
I just forget it.
All right, so this is the fat segment.
So this is the fat
All right,
segment.
we're moving into this segment.
I'll keep it quick. So this kid comes to the door.
This is back in college.
This is back in college because I'm a good kid. I might have honestly been studying for finals, drinking an amp. I don't know. He comes panting to the door. Can I use your telephone? I'm like, what? I'm like, can I use your telephone? I'm like, okay. So I hand the kid my the house phone. He calls his mom, and he's at what is the Robin Hood school down there. He goes, Mom, I need you to come pick me up. I'm at the Robin Hood. And I'm like, dude, just walk home or wait for the bus. And I'm like, is that okay with you? He's like, no. It's like, I need to get picked up now. And I'm like, are you done with my phone? Could you just please leave? Like, for all I know, you're trying to sue me somehow, some way to say that something happened when I let you in my house to be nice. But
Yeah.
that's my fat story. I know that wasn't that dramatic, but long story short, some kid asked to use my telephone, and I let him, and he wanted a ride because he was so fat that he couldn't walk home. That's just a side note. That's Stoneham for you. Would you allow somebody to use your phone in Lynn, or would you
Hell no.
just be like, nope, not happening today, my friend. Not happening today. So yeah, I guess on the show today we're going to discuss Black Mass.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Black Mass, and on the second is also the fight of the century. I think is what it's being billed as. I don't necessarily know if that's true per se, but we'll vaguely touch on the Mayweather Pacquiao fight. We won't get into too much. A lot goes into this fight, and it's just like I was reading about it, and it literally took me 45 minutes to just decide what key points I should hit upon. So we got that. And maybe we'll end it with something else, another story or so, but we got at least those two topics to discuss on the Joe Show coming right up. You guys got any plans for May 2nd? It's next Saturday. I know I do.
I'm gonna try to have that plan.
You're gonna have that plan. You know what we're referring to?
You.
Yes, Mayweather versus Pacquiao at the MGM Grand, May 2nd. Floyd Mayweather, nickname, you know his nickname, right?
Money Mayweather.
Floyd Money Mayweather. He's also called the Golden Boy. Going up against Manny Pacquiao, who's known as
The Mexicutioner.
That's actually a pretty cool name.
That's one of his
Is it really?
names, yeah.
Oh, okay. I was more so looking for the Pac-Man, but I'll take that. So Floyd actually comes in at 47-0, and he's got 26 knockouts. I should do the math in my head. I should have done it last night, but I didn't think to. But that's a pretty good.
That's ridiculous.
That's a pretty good starting fight. Pac-Man is 57-5-2 with 38 knockouts. So
impressive.
It should be a good fight, but everybody's saying that it should have happened like 5 years ago.
It really should have.
When they were at their prime. So I did a little research as to why it didn't happen 5 years ago, and I thought this was Mayweather being the little bitch, but I guess it more so goes to Pacquiao. But it's debatable. I don't want to get into the extreme details, but just to let everybody know, they were supposed to fight in 2009, and Mayweather wanted the Olympic-style drug testing. And Pacquiao wanted as many urine tests as they wanted, plus 3 blood tests. He wanted one in January, which the fight was supposed to be, I don't have it in front of me, but he wanted 3 blood tests in January, 30 days before the fight, and immediately after the fight. And the problem with that was they didn't know who would administer the test. So they had the USADA, which we know is whatever, drug association maybe. Anti-doping, they wanted him to do it, but Pacquiao didn't. So the fight went off. They couldn't figure out how to do it, and it's just like it went back and forth. I'm not gonna bother going into all the details, but on January 30th, TMZ reported that the fight would be arranged. So they picked Saturday, May 2nd at the MGM Grand Casino, and apparently, seeing how Mayweather's the moneymaker, I read that Pacquiao wanted it to be in Dallas at the where the Cowboys play, fit 100,000 people. I may have considered going. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that would have been amazing.
That would have been. I mean, it's 100,000 people, so you probably get a chance to get a ticket, which we'll get into tickets in a minute. But I just feel like, I should say that Floyd felt that no, I'm not fighting anywhere but Vegas, and when you're Floyd Money Mayweather, as you know,
what you say goes.
You say goes. You pick where the fight's gonna happen, because Pacquiao should just shut up and realize that a ton of money is gonna be made, and we'll get into that in a couple minutes, but. My question to you guys is, and I don't know why they even offer it SD, which is standard definition for anybody listening. Would you pay $100 to see this fight? Or would you go to a bar and drink and potentially not remember it? Because that's kind of the problem I'm having right now. So.
Well, I don't drink to black out, Joe, so maybe going to a bar wouldn't be such a bad idea.
Well, Joe drinks to black out because Joe doesn't have days off. So... yeah, so that's my
all work and no play, Joe.
Makes me a very dull boy. So that's the dilemma. My friend.
You notice we have to sneak Kubrick into every show as well.
Fat and Kubrick.
Yeah.
Originally,
he was pretty fat when he died.
He was a big guy.
So maybe there's something going
full
on
circle.
there.
You see how this works?
1997. So my thing is, my friend is throwing a fiesta for the fight. And I told the guy that I work with, I'm like, it's kind of racist that my friend's throwing a Mexican fiesta. Must be a Pacquiao fan.
He's not Mexican.
Yeah, apparently he's not Mexican, which is a very
you
good
still
point.
think it's racist?
No,
because
no,
he looks
no.
Mexican. Because
No. So I asked, we were at the gym. I'm like, yeah, it's kind of racist that you're throwing a fiesta for the Pacquiao Mayweather fight. He goes, dude, that's Cinco de Mayo week. So that's why we're throwing a Mexican fiesta on the 2nd to celebrate Cinco de Mayo on the 5th. And I'm like, oh.
Dos de Mayo.
And that makes it less racist.
It makes perfect sense, because if you're going to have a party, you might as well have it before. You're not celebrating Cinco de Mayo on the, 8th?
Yeah, let's appropriate
the
a celebration
but
of
he's
a
not
culture
Mexican.
for a party
he was
for
Mexican. I didn't do the research.
But so you were kind of stereotyping
I was
based on his
I was stereotyping
looks.
the party, yes.
Yes.
Based on, was it
No,
Filipino?
based on Pacquiao
I just assumed the name to be Mexican.
Thinking he was
to
Mexican.
me. What is he, Filipino?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's Filipino. But that's neither here nor there. So I'm going to a party that night, and I plan on drinking a lot, but the fight's not until, like, I think it's midnight our time is my guess, because it's not going to start until 9 o'clock their time. And I guess I just watched a boxing fight. Do you know anything about rounds? I don't want to say the wrong thing. I think it's
12 rounds.
12 3-minute rounds, I believe.
3 minutes?
I think it's 12.
Is that the standard?
I don't know off the top of my head, to be perfectly honest with you.
This one going to go all the way, you think?
Apparently, a lot of Mayweather's fights go all the way because all he does is dance around.
Now, these are middleweight boxers, right?
They are welterweight at 147 pounds. That's in the contract as to what they're fighting at. I don't know if they're different.
That's a real lean, mean fighting machine.
It is. That's what they're fighting.
They were trying to carve Rocky into in the second one. Remember that?
Yep.
He needed the speed.
He needed the speed. Oh, I'm gonna take a sip of my beer. He needed the speed.
Grease, slick lightning, speed.
He had to catch the chicken.
Yeah.
But I've seen Mayweather work out, and it's quite an intense regimen. So, like I said, I didn't want to spend too much time on this. I kind of just wanted to touch on. I want to get into the contract details of this, and there's a ton. I didn't write them all down because I don't want to spend 20 minutes on, the ins and outs of the fight. But the first one is they're going to share 60-40 money split. So, I think if the fight made $400 million, I have the numbers right here. If $400 million. Mayweather would walk away with $240 million just for showing up.
Unbelievable.
Just for showing up. And then when they tout it, if you will, like prep it, they said that Mayweather's name's got to go first. So it's got to be Mayweather versus Pacquiao.
Of course.
Pacquiao versus Mayweather.
Yeah.
The location is Vegas, as we've already.
He's the current champ, right? So
he's got a lot of belts. I think. I mean, to be undefeated, he
whatever.
Has to be. It's a welterweight at 147 pounds. And this time around, they both agreed to the USADA anti-doping. So they're going to test them directly after the fight. Whereabouts must be known. So, I don't know, maybe in the locker room or something. But I was doing a little bit of, not research, but thinking to myself last night, don't you think it's a little weird to have to get your blood tested directly after the fight? Like, do you think they let them, shower and whatnot? Do you think they legit go back to that locker room and just, because you're bloody as all hell, can't you just take that blood? You know what I'm saying? I don't
know when they would do that. I don't know. That's
why it says must be tested directly after the fight. But what does that matter? If you've already fought with HGH in your system, what's the big deal? I mean, obviously if you shoot up right before the fight, it's not going to do anything.
Well, it might though. There might be some kind of cocktail kind of thing that would energize them and numb pain and
that's
whatever.
Right. I forgot who did that. That's actually
damn it. They could snort a line and then keep going. That's
actually a very, very good point. So apparently the winner gets a newly created belt. Okay? You want to know the value? You want to guess the value of the belt that they get? Someone just throw out a number.
No idea, man. 100,000?
Okay, what do you think?
The actual value of the belt
it's a
that's
special
being
belt.
made for this?
Special belt, yep.
God, man. It's got to be six figures, right?
Yeah. No, 7.
It's a 7-figure.
It's a 7. It says
is
valued.
It like a 1.2 million?
It says valued at $1 million. It's got both of their faces on it.
Oh,
it's also got Ali on it.
Wow.
And a guy named Jose. I'm not even gonna try to butcher his name. Sajaman. I don't know who he is, but
so it'll have the pictures, the actual photos of them on it. I've seen belts like that before.
And I don't know. I think I'm gonna try to make this as good as I possibly can. It says that Tecate, Tecate, Tecate is the official beer sponsor. So the tickets sold out in less than 1 minute. But apparently tickets are if you want to sit front row, it's $250,000, and the MGM brand owns those tickets, so they're gonna give them to their high rollers. I could see people from China flying in, and people from the high rollers is what I'm trying to say.
So for the common man, $100 to watch it HD in their home, relative to the tickets, is very cheap.
It's very cheap. It's totally worth it to do.
When you put it in perspective.
When you put it in perspective, if you get 5 guys, what's that? $20.
Yeah, you split it up. It's not that much.
Because that's what my friend said. He did the Facebook group, and he's like, "Look, guys, we're throwing a party. If you plan on staying for the fight,
contribute $5, $1.
I was gonna give him 20 at one point, but I think I knocked it down to 10 because there's gonna be a decent amount of people there.
Yeah.
But that makes sense.
Split it up, entry fee,
May
done.
May don't give a shit. May's still making us $250 million just strictly off of showing up.
Yeah.
Which is incredible in my opinion. But yeah, I was going to say that Mayweather's net worth last year, I had to know, was $105 million. He made $105 million last year. I don't even recall him fighting. I'm assuming he did. I'm assuming he fought in 2014. You can't just make $105 million for not fighting.
So, needless to say, this is going up this year. His net worth.
His net worth is 100%.
It's probably already up and he hasn't even fought yet.
He hasn't even fought. Just for showing up, he gets that money.
Yeah.
I would just be like, fall down. Oh, what? I'm 47-1. Well, guess what? I'm $250 million.
Yeah.
So I mean, who gives a shit? So before we started, I showed you that motivational video that I watched.
Yes.
It's good stuff, isn't it?
Yes.
For anybody who wants to watch it, it's on YouTube. I just type in like "success Floyd Mayweather," and it's a very well known preacher giving a speech on how to be successful, and it's got like Floyd running, doing all this stuff, and it just really motivates people. That's what I used to watch.
We should link it in the description, maybe, of this episode.
Probably,
We'll link it up.
Why not? And then I'll put it in there, and you can watch it. And it's got Explosions in the Sky, I believe, is the band in the background music. It's like a 6-minute
So it's real dramatic.
video.
Yeah.
So it's real dramatic, and it's so freaking good. It makes me want to go out there and box, which I told you guys I just started doing. So I could be the next big thing. You never know.
Yeah, Dempsey, man. There was already a famous Dempsey boxer.
Just go jab, cross, hook, level change, jab, 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 or stuff
You got
like
a fighter's name, Joe.
I do.
You really do.
It's in the family. So I did some more research when I was trying to end this. I went to Floyd's website because he's got Mayweather Promotions, which is his. He owns the rights to that. If you want a hat on the Mayweather website, the most expensive hat I found was $40. I think that's pretty expensive for a hat, personally.
Like a new era hat?
He probably owns the rights to whatever hat it is.
Like one that you're wearing or something?
It's along those lines, but his is like the popped out stuff. So it's a nice hat.
And the shipping, you got to pay for that.
You got to pay for shipping and
usually when you see merch that expensive, that's how they pay their employees.
It's through the.
They don't give them any of the proceeds from any of their shows and stuff.
I doubt he does, but I don't know.
They just give them all the money from merch.
So I saw that the most expensive shirt.
That's how lucrative he is, though.
Oh yeah, people will buy it. I bought a shirt when I was out there before his fight with, I think it was Kano or something like that. He fought some guy in 2013. The day I left.
But that's why shirts are $30 at concerts.
That's right.
And everything is like at least $10 more.
It's insane.
Because that's how they pay their roadies and stuff.
Yeah, because this guy walks around with $1 million cash supposedly wherever he goes. That's supposedly a true story. He keeps it in a briefcase and he pays people to walk around with him. If you're Floyd Mayweather, you might as well
get that entourage.
Why not? If I had that kind of money, I'd do the same thing.
I'd just start following with his entourage and try to blend in. I'm with him. Yeah.
So the most expensive T-shirt was $55. I don't recall what it said, but the cheapest one was $20, and it was the dumbest shirt I've ever seen. It said like Knuckles or something like that. It was like it was just a dumb T-shirt. If you want a tracksuit, which I don't know why that would make you a better runner or anything of the sort, you could buy one for like, I don't know, maybe $50 on Nike's website. Maybe, I don't know. $150 for a Mayweather tracksuit. Like, that's supposed to help you jump higher and go longer and do all that stuff.
Does it have like money symbols all over it?
It probably does. He actually, I was watching the Inside Mayweather Pacquiao TV show. He's got this cool shirt which you can't get online, which is how he makes his money. He like exclusive things, like only 150 made, which is very smart.
Yeah.
But he's got this shirt that says like 47-0 on the front, and on the back it's everybody he's ever fought with X's on their names. It's actually pretty cool. Like, if he sold it, I would probably try to get my hands on it.
Now, what about their fighting styles? I think you wanted to talk about that.
I didn't know if I did or if I didn't touch on that. I was going to go back to it. So Floyd is what's known as the orthodox, which means he puts his left foot further in front of right. So that must mean he leans with, my guess is he leans with the left.
But he's a right-hander.
No, isn't Pacquiao the right-hander?
No.
Pacquiao is the southpaw. Right hand, right foot forward.
Pacquiao's a right-handed boxer?
Unless I have Floyd is orthodox. Left foot further in front of right. Pac is right hand,
You jab
right
with the
foot
left.
forward.
Jab with the left and then hook
He
with
jab,
the right.
That's orthodox,
Yeah,
right? Because that's how I stand.
Because that's how you stand
Well, it
naturally
says
to fight.
Pacquiao southpaw stance,
Right.
and Mayweather's having faced only 5 lefties in his career.
Probably because he picks his own fights.
Mayweather's beaten every southpaw he's faced.
Yeah.
Um,
Right. So he's a southpaw. Floyd's the orthodox. Got the orthodox stance. And then Pacquiao is the southpaw.
But it says he's a lefty.
Yeah, they consider this the lefty, though. It's the switch style.
Is that what it is?
Pacquiao
But this
a
is
lefty.
still his dominant
That's the way
to
to
jab.
go. The jab with the left. Punch. The hook.
Yeah,
All right.
Who are you talking about?
Pacquiao.
Yeah.
So the left is not a dominant.
The
hand,
right
though.
hand, right foot
Yeah.
forward is his dominant. So that's what makes
He'll
him
be
the
he'll be
southpaw.
jabbing with the hand that's back.
And which,
Yeah.
correct. If I understood that correct.
That's why they were trying to get Rocky to not be like that. Remember? In the
Yes.
in the third one,
second.
wasn't it?
No, it was
Second
the second one.
one? It
he
was the
about,
second?
And then Mick said, when I say go, you become the southpaw, and that's when you attack. When he attacked
Yeah,
with the
he
left.
switched it
Oh,
out.
he switched it out.
He switched it out like near the end of the fight,
Yeah.
and then the southpaw came back.
Mayweather
right?
is a right-handed boxer,
But he's orthodox stance.
Yeah,
which
it's
is orthodox.
Right.
left foot forward.
Left foot further in front of right. And then Pacquiao is the southpaw, which is right hand, right foot forward. So that's like that.
Still dominant hand
Yeah,
to punch with.
correct.
And this is the jab, but it's back.
And you said that
Yeah.
Floyd has never lost to a southpaw, obviously, because that would make sense. He's 47-0. I really don't care about fighter stances. They can do whatever they want, with however they want. But it is just the way that it is in the common boxing era. I think that my next question to you guys was going to be who you got winning. I specifically have Mayweather by decision. I know nothing about the guy besides what I just told you guys, but I've known that I guess his fights do go the distance. So I think that they would never have him lose a fight.
You don't think either of them are going to knock the other one out,
No,
though?
I think it's going to go all 12 rounds. That's Vegas apparently has the money line set. Obviously.
You think there's going to be a knockout,
No,
or is this going to be
it's going to go all 12
just
rounds.
points spaced?
Yep, it's going to go points based with Mayweather winning, just because that's what everybody wants to see.
Well, it says that Mayweather really doesn't knock people out.
He doesn't.
He
He's
just
only
wins
knocked
by
out.
points.
He wins by points. Yeah,
That's so boring.
He dances around.
What happened to the old time slugfests? Bloodbath.
You gotta watch
knock
the
the
heavyweights.
dude out.
Gotta watch
But
the
where are
heavyweights.
they?
I just watched Klitschko fight last night. I was watching it before you guys came. That's Hayden's boyfriend.
Who's Klitschko?
He's the heavyweight champion.
From where?
Russia. He's boxing.
Okay.
So he fought an American last night. And,
What's he look like, though? Like,
he's
what's the
huge.
physique? Like,
I don't want to get
prejudice.
I mean, I've already said that he was Mexican, so I might as well keep it going. Think Ivan Drago, honestly. Just a
that
standard,
tall,
a
that
standard
big,
Russian.
yeah.
I knew it. I knew you were going to go there.
Wow.
Just a standard Russian, and then he fought this.
So his girlfriend has really short hair.
She's
Bridget
blonde.
Nielsen.
Striking.
Bridget. She does the press conferences for him.
Gosh, Bridget Nielsen. Man, she just
She
turned
fell
into
off the
like a
She did.
disgusting mess.
She fell off the map. She fell off quickly. I'm not gonna lie.
And she was married to.
She was
To
married to
Dolph Lundgren. Yeah.
No, other way around.
Swar-
she was married to
wasn't
Rocky.
she?
Nope. She
Yeah,
was married to
Stallone.
Stallone. That's why she was in that movie. That's the only reason they
Oh,
cast her.
Stallone.
Yes,
Okay.
she was married
And she
to
was
Stallone.
she
thought
was
it was-
good looking back then,
She
man.
was
Yeah,
But then when she was on that show, what was
dig
that show with
Oh,
Flava Flav?
yeah.
That
where
was
they-
disgusting.
It was disgusting.
That was
Where they had
horrible.
to share a
she
house.
she was gross.
She was
Yeah,
wrecked,
that was pretty bad. But I don't want to digress into.
I do.
Okay, go
Rocky
ahead.
Four,
No,
man.
I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say I remember. That
I already
show.
did. Go
She
back
looked
to the
great.
fight.
I remember Joey was on that show.
No, get
from
back to
Full
the
House.
fight, yeah.
But yeah, like I said, I have Mayweather by decision, and I think
All
that
right.
Vegas wants it that way because that's how they're gonna. Actually, Vegas probably doesn't want it that way. No, if that's the way they got it set up for people to win money, they probably don't want him to go to decision.
Probably not.
They're too good to get knocked out, right?
I think Pac might have gotten knocked out
A few
like his
times.
past couple fights
Yeah.
or something like that. So he's definitely showing his age. And Floyd over there is just Floyd. He's money Mayweather.
That's what
we know.
people are saying. Like you said, Mayweather's older than Pacquiao,
I
right?
believe so. Yeah.
But Pacquiao in boxer age is
yeah.
more worn than Mayweather.
Right.
He's done more fights. He's been knocked out more.
Yep. Pacquiao.
So-
Pacquiao's done a lot more fights.
They're
God.
factoring that in.
Pacquiao's done over 60. Floyd's only done 47.
Right.
But here's a fun fact, is that I guess Floyd Mayweather lost in the Olympics, which should be a loss against his record, but for some reason they say he got screwed and he should have won that fight, so they for some reason don't. I don't think it's counted.
I think it's outside of the league, though, right?
Yeah, but
whatever
he's technically
it is.
not undefeated like they make him out to be. Is what I'm trying to say.
I don't know a thing about this.
Was he knocked out, by the way?
No, that was
No,
his decision.
he was just lost. Yeah.
I think that Manny's gonna win.
You can pick Manny.
Because you just said he's younger, he's had more fights. That means he is not afraid to fight anybody.
He really isn't.
And,
He's not. He don't
and
care.
because Mayweather's picking his challengers,
everything.
I think that he's got another thing coming to him. Just my intuition tells me that this is going to be
I kind of share that.
Clubber Lang, kind of situation.
They're already
Mayweather's not even
talking
going to have
rematch.
a chance.
Yeah.
Talking rematch if it happens.
Dude, this is Clubber Lang.
Pac is
versus,
a
All right, so
versus
you got
Rocky.
Pacquiao. I mean, go.
I just think
Pac's
he's
the
a
underdog.
scrapper who's going to surprise everybody.
What round?
That's
I don't
from
know,
what
man.
I've read
I don't know.
about
Pick up-
him,
just
man.
pick a random
That's kind
round.
of the idea I get from him.
There's 12
I don't know a
rounds
thing
in the
about-
fight. Just pick a round.
I just don't know, man.
I'm gonna pick for you. He's gonna go. If you're saying it's gonna be Pacquiao, it's gonna be Pacquiao in the 7th. Write it down. Take it to Vegas.
I'm gonna realistically think Mayweather,
Me too.
but like the part of me that wants to go for the underdog wants Pac to win
It's
it,
like
man,
I don't.
by knockout. I would just love it.
I want him to just retire undefeated. Like he's not as much of a dick as people make him out to be. Like that's his persona.
Just
That's
'cause,
how he
he's
sells the
rich,
tickets. That was in was that in Rocky? Was it like a that's like what's his name? Apollo,
yeah.
wanted to just sell
Showboat,
Showboat.
but he's really a good guy.
Yeah, there's no harm in that. Remember, was it Rocky 2 where he's reading the letter to his wife and he's like, "You fixed the fight, go kill yourself." He was in his house. I'll never forget that line. "You stink, you fixed the fight, now go kill yourself." So you got Pacquiao, I got Mayweather in decision, and you have...
My fantasy is Pacquiao winning, but my realistic view is Mayweather wins it by decision.
We
I'm
will,
with you, but
We will talk about it next time and see who is right. I'll definitely be watching, so I'll probably be intoxicated too. So you guys might expect a call during it.
yeah,
I text you guys during my shifts at Hot, so I know you'll at least be up because that starts at midnight. So we're gonna talk next about the new Whitey Bulger movie coming out, and I have some thoughts on that too with the casting and the directing, and we'll get into that next. We'll be right back.
later.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Joe Show. So we were talking about what we were potentially going to do on May 2nd, but now we might as well talk about what we're potentially going to do on September 18th. That just so happens to be the release date of the movie Black Mass, starring Johnny Depp portraying the infamous Whitey Bulger. So, the trailer was just released on Friday, and if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend a view or two, in my opinion, because the first time I saw it, I'm like, this was dumb, this was stupid. But then the second time around, I understood it, and I'm like, wow, this has the potential to be such a good movie. So, in theory, we can talk about it a little bit. They're sitting at a table, and he's with the guy that is the what we think to be the guy who works for the FBI.
Yeah, they have to be FBI agents
Weeks?
or something.
Is that Weeks? I think it's Kevin Weeks. Because I know Steven the Rifleman Fleming was his number 2 guy. I might have been Kevin Weeks, but don't hold me to that. But long story short, Johnny Depp asks him, what is the secret? They're eating steak, they're at a dinner table. He's like, what is the secret to this steak?
Yeah.
And the guy originally says it's a family secret, he's not going to tell him. So he's like, no, you got to tell me. So Whitey Bulger, a.k.a. Johnny Depp, vice versa, however you want to look at it, asks him again. And he tells him that, when you give away the secret, just saying gets people sent away.
Yeah.
So he did a stint in Alcatraz, and he made that perfectly known. And then, they cut to other scenes of the movie, and I just think that it was a very good 2 minutes. I think it was what it ran. It wasn't that long.
They're just showing clips of everybody getting executed by him, basically.
Because apparently, I don't know if this was in the movie. I don't know if this happened in real life. Whitey Bulger, a.k.a. Johnny Depp, don't want defamation lawsuits here. Supposedly, shot somebody in broad daylight in like a parking lot. I'm assuming since this is a biopic, it's probably true. I don't really know much about it, but there's that. It was just an all around good trailer, and you told me to watch it, and I did. And originally, I was like, this is not worth my time.
This is the local flavor to the show.
Yep,
again.
we got the local flavor, and I thought that you've seen it a few times, Josh. You've seen it a few times too. Have you? That's a yes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did.
I like the laugh at the end. I thought it was very.
Oh, yeah.
I have it termed in my notes as very Jokerish.
It is.
It's very like.
Yeah.
Maniacal. Like he's just a crazy son of a bitch, and someone that you did not want to mess with. So, I guess I knew he was an informant, so to speak. But I guess Whitey Bulger tried to take down the Italian mafia when they were trying to take over his turf, which I thought was pretty interesting. So he became an informant.
Yeah.
And in lieu of that, he got his immunity, which is... I think it's weird to have two mafias, but have one mafia get, like, immunity and whatnot to try to rat out the other. I thought that's kind of...
The FBI in this case, or CIA, was involved as well later on, but...
Yeah.
Well, earlier, I should say, with him. They knew who he was.
Right.
And I think they just chose the lesser evil, the lesser devil, if you will.
Yeah, that makes sense.
In that situation.
Plus Whitey's from...
Which is what they do, unfortunately.
To take down one.
You won't find any document that actually says this, but yeah, that's what they do.
It's just typical in this world to have to deal with that. So, the movie is directed by Scott Cooper, and we were talking about movies that I saw by Scott Cooper. Not saw, but like was doing research. Was it Into the Furnace or Out of the Furnace?
Out of the Furnace.
Okay, so he did Out of the Furnace, which has Christian Bale, and he also did something hard.
Crazy Heart?
Crazy Heart. Okay.
Yeah.
With
Jeff Bridges.
Jeff Bridges, who won Best
Actor?
Best Actor.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Jeff Bridges won Best Actor. So this
good movie.
This movie has potential. But I was thinking to myself, if they could have gotten a better director, who should they have chosen? And in my opinion, I would have went with the go-to, who's made two mafia movies in the past. I'm gonna go with Martin Scorsese as my go-to director. So,
which he already did The Departed, though,
and
which was loosely based.
It was loosely based off of Whitey.
Off of this, yeah.
He actually won Best Director for that movie, I believe. 100%. Yeah, he did, because I think the rumor was that was going to be his last movie, so he wanted to win. They were going to give him a pity vote, just like they did with Kate Winslet when she won for The Reader. Because they were saying how she's always nominated, but never actually wins. But I don't want to get into that. But yeah, I'm like, Scott Cooper, I've never heard of this guy. Like, who is he? But looking at his rap sheet or his his directorial, he may actually get this one right. It also has Benedict. Was it? I can't pronounce.
Cumberbatch.
Benedict Cumberbatch. I just look at this guy and I just pop him in the face. I don't know why. There's something about that face.
So I take it you're not going to see The Imitation Game.
I am not going to see The Imitation Game only because he's the main character in it, and it's just there's something about him I just do not like. He's probably the one that he's nominated for Best Actor, right? So he did something right. He just didn't win,
which he lost.
He just doesn't do it for me. I don't want to look at his smug face. And he plays Whitey's brother.
He does? The
Billy.
senator?
He plays Billy Bulger.
Wow.
He plays Billy. Yep. And
I didn't know that.
Yep. That's what I have in my notes. Also, the girl from 50 Shades of Grey is in it. I believe her name to be Dakota Fanning. She's also in it. Don't know.
Okay.
I
didn't know that.
That's her.
I didn't. That's her in that movie too?
Look, everybody. I went to IMDb.
Yeah.
If you want to doubt me, go ahead. I spent 2 hours prepping for this show. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I have the name wrong. No, I have Dakota Fanning.
No, it's Dakota Johnson.
Fanning. I thought,
Fanning.
isn't she
Jeez, maybe
dead?
you thought that she was in 50 Shades of Grey.
Look, it was 2 a.m. in the morning.
You were fantasizing Dakota Fanning was being molested by the guy in that
she's
movie.
She's like a 19-year-old girl. Okay, all right. So what is it, Dakota? What? What's the last name?
Johnson.
Dakota Johnson.
Dakota Johnson. Okay.
She must play. I honestly don't know, but if I had to guess, I would say Whitey's girlfriend, who he was captured with. I don't know the name. Off the top of my head. Kevin Bacon's in it.
Okay.
No, that wasn't. No, Catherine Gregg was the name of the lady that he was captured with.
So you don't think that
That's not her.
you
No,
don't
she's
know?
Lindsay Sire, CYR.
Who plays Whitey's girlfriend? Do we know?
Sienna Miller.
Yeah, that's,
Okay, I've heard that name. I can't put a face to these names.
I have not. So he was an FBI informant, as we talked about, and in turn, the FBI turned the cheek to the Irish Mafia in Southie, which I think is pretty cool. He was a part of the notorious Winter Hill Gang, which I believe was the street that he either grew up on or hung out. I don't know which one.
What neighborhood was he from?
I honestly
Just
What,
South
Whitey
Boston
was
in
from
general?
Southie.
he was from
Just
Southie.
Like what particular?
Winter Hill.
That's
That's
it?
all I know.
Oh,
Just
he's
that
from
neighborhood?
Southie, dude. It's just Southie.
And I was thinking, if you guys could name your gang, what would you name your gang?
The Dempsey Crew.
The Dempsey Crew, the Demolitional Dempsey, something like that. The Myopia Road, the Myopia Maniacs. That'll be my my go-to name. I know it's a tough one to think about,
Wow.
but I didn't send you the notes. I this time around I was just like, we'll just go with it as it will. But the movie is based on a book, and the title of the book is so long that they just cut it down. So the title of the book is called Black Mass: The True Story of an Unholy Alliance Between the FBI and the Irish Mob. Now, obviously, they thought, it doesn't really make for a good movie.
Doesn't roll off the tongue.
That does not. Let's just cut that at Black Mass. Because
Yeah.
I'm like, what's the significance behind the name? And that's
I get it though. Yeah,
That's,
totally.
that's what I came up with. And I was thinking to myself, you know what? I've always wanted to go to a Southie bar. Like a genuine Southie bar. Where you see one guy sleeping at the, the stereotypical
You
Southie
could go.
bar. Oh,
I don't think it would work out too well for me.
I would love to go to a Southie bar.
I've been to the stadium, which I think is closed.
Okay. It's
that,
no longer
that
around.
wasn't a typical old time Southie bar though.
See, I just want one of those like wooden bars where like it's just stereotypical in movies, like what you saw in Mystic River. Like I want to go to one of those where like they close the door and just beat the shit out of someone. And you're supposed to...
Well, I almost went into one on Friday night. It just had this green door. You couldn't see in, no glass on the storefront at all. And you just opened this green door, and it was just this long hall.
That's what I
I was
want.
like, no,
Like,
not going in there.
Like I want to go to a one that was like a
The
Goodwill
North-
Hunting.
It's near North Station.
Really?
It's called like Old Sullivan's or something like that.
I
Maybe I'm
actually-
just getting it wrong.
No.
How many
Station.
O'Sullivans are
It
around
was
here?
something
Ah,
like that, man. It was
It's
like,
Boston. As many as they can come up with. But I actually work right by by North Station, so I'll look for this place.
yeah,
that was a good choice to not go in there,
yeah,
John.
I forget the street.
Yeah, so that's my take on wanting to go to a
Man,
Southie bar.
I'd be the guy that like the townies that are like right outside would be like, "Get the fuck out of here, kid!" And they just kick
with
me
their
out of here.
accents,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
I'd be like,
They're
"Look
bo-
at you,
What you doing in our
wearing those
part-
skinny jeans. Get out of here with them skinny jeans."
What you doing in our part of town, eh?
Yeah, I'd just get kicked out.
I'd be like,
I
immediately.
wonder though, if does Boston have like the most bars per square mile? Like
I would
it's unbelievable
I would
how many.
assume maybe,
Gosh,
but
like
I would say maybe Chicago, New
My
York,
God,
but
like,
there are a ton of
you
bars
walk around North Station, man. There's a
Oh, yeah.
bar across from a bar, next to a bar.
next to a bar, and then you go down near the Faneuil Hall, and there's like 4 in a row for a pub crawl.
Unbelievable,
Yeah,
man.
it's
Jeez.
insane.
You couldn't drink at all of them in one night
That's what the pub crawl
and
is.
survive.
That's what the pub crawl is.
You would die. Like if you had to have a drink at every single bar.
No, I've wanted
You
to do
wouldn't
that.
do it. You wouldn't be able to do it.
I'll take your challenge. You want to do a pub crawl one of these days over the
I
summer?
don't think you make it, man.
No, I totally would.
I don't
you
think
would
you
need.
would make it.
I drink one of these, just like an 18-ounce. Got to just
Yeah,
have
we'll
bathroom
we'll
break.
just start right at North Station,
All right,
and
it's
we'll
like
follow
five-
Whitey's footsteps.
Yeah,
Yeah, but then we
The
have to walk.
Whitey Trail.
The Whitey Trail would have to lead us to Southie. We're
Go to-
in
go
the
to-
north end
Yeah,
of Boston.
exactly. You wouldn't make it.
No, we would not. That I would not make. I thought you just meant like the north end of
we
Boston.
should. Yeah, the Whitey Trail should be like the new Boston
The
thing
new
to do.
what was it?
Like,
The Freedom Trail.
yeah, the freedom. We should walk the Whitey Trail
We should
and
walk
just
the-
skip around his old haunts and just go to every bar and maybe talk
Talk
about
to
him.
people, see what-
Yeah, right.
I don't think you want to do that,
No.
man.
That'll get you buried real quick.
I don't think that should be on our to-do list
No.
if we want to go out drinking in the Boston area. But
The Whitey Trail.
the
I
Whitey
love
Trail,
it.
it's a smart.
No, I was in Wakefield, right, having a drink, and there's a bar right next to the depot, the train depot, on Friday night, and it's called Lori's 909, and one of the co-owners said that some guy who hangs out over at the oyster bar at this place claims that he has Irish mafia ties.
Yeah, all right.
This is in Wakefield,
Yeah.
man. You don't want to talk about
No.
Whitey at a bar
No,
anywhere.
not gonna happen.
But if the door closes and they lock it, you know you're screwed.
You'd be that guy, man, getting taken into the back room, just
Like in
dead.
like to go back to my scenario, I want a scenario like in The Departed where he asks him if he's like he wants his cranberry juice, and he asks if he's on his period. Long story short is I want to see someone smash a glass over someone's head at a bar. I've always wanted to see it. You're like, oh yeah, that's all right. He picks up the glass and boom, and have the bartender just act like it didn't happen, like locks the door, make sure everybody gets out safely. That's what I want on a Saturday night. That's. Am I asking too much? Really?
All right, so this movie, Black Mass.
Yeah, we can
You
get
think
back
it's
to it.
going to be good?
Yes, but we can talk about past Depp movies that he's done that have completely just bombed lately.
Yeah.
Mordecai.
I have down we got Mordecai. We have The Lone Ranger.
Absolute Titanic failure.
I did not see it.
Wasn't
so
there
I really-
another one called like Transcendence?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
Yep, he's done.
That was
Which
a
has
bomb.
been doing better, like on the DVD,
Total
Blu-ray
bomb.
market, rental.
That's
thing.
how they,
Yeah.
they make their money back.
And I'm
is
sure
on-
overseas,
it's
somewhere,
doing good.
maybe in the Philippines, it's doing real well.
But yes, I do think this is going
That
to
was
be
a
a
bomb.
commercial success, especially in the Boston area. I think
Yeah.
it's going to dominate
Yeah,
Absolutely, man.
It will.
for a few weeks at that too.
I hope it's as good as Gone Baby Gone.
Right, like that's.
That was a great one.
I actually really liked Gone Baby Gone. No,
You're like
was it
the
Gone
only
Baby
person
Gone?
I know who saw that.
Gone Baby Gone.
Because
Is
you
that
don't
one
like the
with Affleck?
town. You said
No,
you don't
that's-
like
I
the
hated the
town.
town.
That's wait, Gone Baby Gone. Did he direct that?
He did. It was.
Affleck?
Oh no, I
that's
hated
what
that
I
movie.
thought.
I'm sorry.
Gone
Is it-
Girl. Is that what you're thinking?
I'm not. I mean, about the one with his brother Casey.
Oh,
Casey was
that
Gone Baby Gone.
Was that the one with the kid?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that movie was
What
awesome.
about Mystic
Wasn't it?
River?
I really liked
No.
Mystic River. I thought
that
was okay.
was Clint Eastwood.
Mystic River was Clint Eastwood.
No, but I'm just saying, like another one that was
Nah.
filmed
Boston.
locally.
Yeah,
Nah.
yeah. So
That's if you're not from
Yeah,
Boston.
kid, you like that
one.
if you're not from around
But
here, kid.
Gone Baby Gone has that one great part when they go into that bar in like Dorchester or something.
Mhm.
Remember that part?
Yeah,
and the bartender
What does he do?
was just he had that. He just nailed it, man.
That-
Like, he
that's
just
what I
nailed
want.
that.
I want a bar where like you go in and you specifically drink hard alcohol. Like,
Whiskey.
If you ask for a Bud Light, they slap you in the face or something, which is what I would do. But I want a bar where.
What did he say? I'll turn your ass into a skippy jar. That
Yeah,
was just the best. Like,
Exactly. It's insane. I would just laugh too. I would just
Remember
laugh
that?
it
Doesn't
off.
he sit down with like a bunch of shots when he's telling the story? And
Oh,
then he
that's a
starts-
different part,
The other
yeah.
guy starts hammering him down,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
just
I'll
sitting
have a
there.
tall boy.
Yeah, a tall boy and a couple of shots, right?
That's how I would roll. That's how I would see. But didn't Mystic River? I know it was about the death of something. Didn't it have like a negative? Like, didn't Clint Eastwood catch a lot of shit when in the beginning when Priest was the one that got the kid? Like, I thought I read that. You know that scene where they're in the car when in the beginning, like
It's
in the
been,
beginning.
like, over a decade.
I think there's a
since I've
scene
seen
where
that.
like a priest like turns around and you can see that he has like the ring on his
Oh,
finger, like
yeah.
the parishioner's ring.
Okay,
Don't hold me to that, but I'm
that was like at the
positive.
very beginning.
Yeah,
right?
that was when they were
Mhm.
kids. So yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
They were all molested.
Just one.
Tim Robbins was.
Tim Robbins was the other.
Okay.
The other guys.
Yeah, the
weren't.
other
Tim-
ones got off.
The other kids
Yeah.
thought that it was an actual cop that was in the because it was a cop car. It was a fake cop because they were like putting their names in the thing. But yeah, we digress. There's that movie. Did you say Gone Girl?
I
Gone Baby
didn't.
Gone?
No.
Gone Baby
No.
Gone? So there's The Town was filmed in Mass. We got this one. What else? Like,
Not lots of movies have been filmed here, but
Well, I
not,
mean, like-
but not based.
But like
that's what
about
I meant. Yeah.
Here, yeah,
Yeah.
locally.
So there's The Town,
Departed.
Departed, which was a phenomenal movie. Like
I still haven't seen it.
at all.
The
I've
what?
seen some cut up on TV.
Of what?
That's it, of The Departed. I've never
Oh.
watched it.
Yeah, that's something that you
That
need to-
that is loosely Whitey Bulger. Though.
Yes, that is.
I was
something
just
that
talking to
you
Jake
need to-
about that. Like, Jack Nicholson's practically Whitey Bulger in that movie,
He is, and yeah, that's exactly. I read that.
and he could have been Whitey Bulger if they had made this. If they had caught Whitey in like 1999,
He would have been the perfect.
he would have been Whitey.
The creepiness that Depp is conveying in the trailer
It's
really
insane.
got across to me, like the things I was reading about him, like the CIA did LSD tests on him.
Yes, I read that too.
About the
when they were in Alcatraz,
mind control tests.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Took for a lesser sentence.
Yep.
Whitey Bulger was a part of a CIA LSD program.
Yep. Illicit drugs way back
We
in
read
the day.
about yeah.
That's how he got off the rock.
I don't know if that's how he got off, but they were just like for a lesser
that wasn't
sentence.
It was in Atlanta. He wasn't. In
I
Alcatraz,
can't believe
no.
he was in Alcatraz.
Me either.
What a freaking life this guy had.
Yeah, and now
he's one of 11 living post inmates from that place.
Unbelievable.
Oh, wow.
Post convicts.
Well, Clint Eastwood's alive.
Yeah,
he made it off.
That's true. He did get off the rock and escape from Alcatraz.
So.
You want to hope.
And then
what was the flower? The flower at the end of that movie?
I have not seen Escape from Alcatraz.
Chrysanthemum or something? I don't know. The guy
not.
crushed it. Yeah.
I have not
Whatever
seen
the hell it
Escape
was.
from Alcatraz.
These grow off the bay of this place. You will never see them.
But I wanted to talk about how, just real quickly, about, what's his name there? Johnny Depp has done period pieces before. He was Ed Wood. The director was Tim Burton, which I thought Ed Wood was a phenomenal movie. Did you seen Ed Wood?
No.
You've not seen
Yeah, it's really great.
I've seen some of it.
Really, really good. The Rum Diary, which I think is Hunter S. Thompson.
It is him again.
I saw
reprising that role.
I saw that when we were in school. I thought it was okay, but it wasn't. It wasn't Fear and Loathing.
It's not Fear and Loathing,
which is a phenomenal movie.
I hate it.
One of the best.
Hate it.
One of the funniest movies ever.
That.
What?
Garbage.
Exactly. I mean, it is just junk, but it's
garbage.
It's a phenomenal movie. So
it's hilarious.
Public Enemies was another one. Dillinger, right?
Yeah,
Dillinger.
yeah.
I don't
Long
know his
drawn
name.
out, but
he
good
did
movie.
well in that.
He did do well.
But the movie
performance
was a
is great.
letdown.
Marion Cotillard.
And then he was also in
beautiful.
He was also in Blow.
Gorgeous.
He was in Blow.
I didn't see that.
You didn't see
I
Blow?
still haven't seen it.
Blow has a phenomenal.
I'm not into like cocaine movies.
It's just the
I
last.
noticed like I don't get attracted to, like Wolf of Wall Street, like like
Wolf of Wall
drug
Street
movies
is a
like that.
phenomenal.
Well, then you can't watch any Italian mob movies then from the 80s.
like Goodfellas. Like, what's your take on
Exactly.
that?
I haven't seen it. Never
Well,
seen it.
You're killing.
That's
me.
all about coke, man.
You have not seen.
I've
Goodfellas?
noticed like I don't know. I just have an aversion to these type of films, or just haven't.
Goodfellas.
been in the
You
right
like
place to watch them.
Scarface?
Scarface
I don't-
was a good movie. It's a movie that you watch.
I like
when there's
things
nothing else
about
on.
that film.
I
That's
like-
it.
I like the soundtrack to Scarface.
I like
myself.
Pacino.
Now, to tie this into Bulger, did he get involved in drug trafficking at all? Was he doing anything like that?
Don't know off the top of my head.
Because some
I'm
of the
assuming
guys
he did.
around him were.
I'm assuming.
Flemmy was involved with narcotics distribution.
Oh, he must have been.
Yeah,
He must have been.
If he was getting off.
It's more about the murders, though.
Yeah. It's more
Like
about
the drugs are nothing compared
to
to the 11 people that he's been charged with murdering.
So he has been sentenced, right? He's in the.
But he was
federal
suspected
pen,
of 19 murders, wasn't he?
Yeah,
But he was
suspected,
only convicted for 11.
which doesn't matter.
Two life sentences.
I think it's like
out of
two
it, I
life
think.
sentences
Yeah.
plus like 5 years or something
Yeah.
like that. I'm like, just say one life sentence.
The
He's
Aaron,
probably killing
Aaron
some
Hernandez
scumbags,
could have been the
by the way.
Whitey of our time, though.
Aaron
Aaron Hernandez.
Don't get me started.
Not to try to like give him a moral high ground, but he was probably killing some scumbag guys too. That's why they didn't give him like 11 life sentences.
I'm sure.
They don't
I'm sure
care
the,
about
I'm sure the deaths were justified.
Yeah,
I'm sure the
in a
deaths were
criminal
justified.
mindset.
But yeah, talking about federal people and whatnot, we got the Tsarnaev issue, if you will.
Yeah.
He finally got. I mean, they redid the thing. Did we talk about how he was? We talked about how he was guilty last time, right?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was guilty, but then I thought that they were going to just resume the trial with going forward with the sentencing,
Mm-hmm.
but they put it on hold after the marathon.
Yeah.
The 21st is when they picked up again. So
They-
just this past week, they picked up the trial again.
The judge, I don't know if he ordered, I don't know if he came, which I'm assuming he came. He told none of the people on the jury to go to the Boston Marathon because that would just kind of like skew everyone's
Absolutely. Yeah.
view of it. So, yeah, I think.
So yeah, but basically the last couple of days they were meeting. And,
Right. They're deciding should he get the death penalty or should he go to the Supermax, which we discussed in the last hour.
And what
If you want to go
what they-
back and hit the
Let's
last
talk
episode,
about what they
check it
did
out.
though. I mean, they showed video of
Yes,
the marathon, they played
they
like
played
the
newer
audio
stuff. Yes.
of people screaming.
Yeah, it's very graphic.
Yes, and they played Martin Richard, there's apparently a video, I don't know if it's a video for someone's testimony, like him just like trying to get to his mother like right after the bomb went off. Just obviously he didn't make it, but it's stuff like that that's gonna skew the jury one way. Like I guess juries were crying, and it's just like he just doesn't care, especially with that video.
Just a monster.
Of him flipping off the camera.
Yeah, but I mean, he was doing a sign, and then he just flipped off the camera. I don't justify what he did, but come on, like, is that really enough to... I understand it's showing that he doesn't care by flipping off the camera, but I don't think that's enough to say, yeah, now we gotta kill him, you know what I'm saying?
No, but the bombing itself is justifying killing him, in my opinion.
Yes.
I was thinking about all this death penalty, capital punishment stuff this past week, too, and, you know, we're getting the argument wrong. Everybody's getting the argument wrong. You see, the original argument against capital punishment was, we can reform these people. So let's not kill them because we can put them into therapy, psychoanalysis. We can find out that they were molested by priests and that's why they murdered and killed 20 people.
Yeah.
You know, it's garbage like that, lies. And but here we are. You know, it's been it's been 31 years since they abolished it here in Massachusetts, and we still have these gruesome murderers who aren't remorseful, and him showing the bird to the camera shows he's a guy who doesn't really care. He doesn't
care. I
he can't be reformed. So that's, if you put it in that context, I see that as leaning more towards capital punishment.
Wasn't it like just weeks after though? You know what I'm saying? Like maybe now I don't know. I'm not justifying.
Well, he showed no remorse in his face in the
He didn't show remorse anywhere. Yeah, I don't think that should be. I understand why they showed it to show that he showed no remorse, but if I was like teeter-tottering, like, yes, I think he should get it, yes, I don't think he should get it, and I'm on the jury, him flipping off the camera is not enough.
Picture this. When they wanted to defend him with insanity, he flipped out because he would claim, I'm not insane, and he flipped the table, apparently, in front of him.
And then they tried to say, but weren't you sexually abused by a cleric? And
sure.
Yeah, sure.
Isn't that why you did this?
They tried to get anything that would give people sympathy for him.
But it's just not going to happen.
It's not happening.
But it is what it is, and we're just going to have to see how it pans out, I suppose, at this point. It's definitely something.
And when is Ben Affleck going to make the movie out of all this?
You think
or Scorsese or somebody.
Who do you think would get the rights? That's actually a good way to end it. You think it's going to be Affleck?
Affleck has to make the movie.
Gosh, I hope they don't make a movie.
Oh, they're going to make it.
Oh,
no. What's his name already got rights to the movie?
Who did?
Didn't Wahlberg already got rights to a movie about
making this? The first movie about it?
I don't think it has anything to do with him per se. I think it's just the days leading up to it, to the marathon.
I hope they don't.
Yeah, they're definitely going to make a movie about it. It's just a matter of time.
All right. Well, you know, we would talk. Our mom brought up a great point too, that they put the DC sniper, the Beltway sniper to death. You know, John Muhammad, he's gone. So why not Tsarnaev?
That actually is a good way to end it. I agree. No, I don't. I'm sticking to my guns.
Yep. We'll have an update.
But they didn't put the kid to death though. That was with the DC sniper.
Oh, they just throw him in.
He's in the Supermax, isn't he?
Supermax. Honestly, I don't know. He's in Supermax.
Yeah. I don't know that. We covered that last episode.
Yeah, but maybe he wasn't convicted.
Tsarnaev's brother, the ringleader, is already dead.
He is already dead.
He could be compared to the DC sniper and not the younger Tsarnaev. Could be more compared to the kid.
The last thing I want to say. The last thing I want to say on this topic is that Sean Collier is an American hero.
Yes, absolutely. Go Vikings, SSU.
He will always be viewed as an American hero with my book.
Yep.
And I watched that documentary that you said, and I guess one of the guys was talking to him right before he left for the day. And he goes, "Oh, I'm just trying to keep the MIT streets safe or something."